Hey guys, I'm Dorian.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is Yin-Yang Reviews.
Today we're going to be talking to you guys about the new Arrow Season 4 trailer.
The Arrow's dead. Couldn't be that person even if I wanted to be. And I don't want to be.
This is so cool!
Oliver walked away.
The ghosts, they're like nothing we'd ever seen before. Well trained, well armed. We need the Arrow.
Oh, you don't know who I am, do you? I'm Damien Dark. So you're all fretting about this city dying. I'm here on behalf of an organization that wants you to let it die.
This town started going to crap the moment you put on that hood. You brought madness into all our lives, and the monster you were inspired monsters.
I respect order, discipline. All you represent is anarchy.
You've certainly chosen an unusual hobby, Mr. Quinn.
Even when we're out there, we are not out there together.
You both almost got killed tonight because you didn't have each other's backs.
I don't know what's happening now, but it is not in my job description. Pretty!
When people go in the pit, they don't come out the same.
You can't be the Arrow. He died. So who are you?
You're about to find out.
Since when are you such a badass?
Since always.
Alright, Dorian, so what did you think of the trailer?
I really liked it, especially after last season. That really made me anticipate this trailer a lot more, just to see what new things they were going to do. They said they were going to go with a more lighthearted tone, and it looks like they're kind of doing that, especially the way the trailer started.
I didn't really like last season. I thought that it was very
Kind of drawn out.
You know, it had no clear end game except for the traditional beat the bad guy. I thought that the other subplots were too drawn out and nobody really cared about them.
Okay.
So I was kind of hesitant watching this new one, kind of not really knowing where they were going to take the series, not knowing if it was going to be back to its original, go get 'em attitude that it had the first two seasons. But I definitely really liked the way this one looked. Let's talk about some of the things that you saw. So what was the first thing that you saw that kind of made you jump out?
I really like how they started off this trailer. Pretty much where we left off, we had Oliver and Felicity going off into the sunset, and this trailer starts with Oliver jogging up to their new house with their new life and all. And then they really flip the script whenever they get back to Star City, which they renamed, which surprised me as well. And yeah.
So talk about that. I thought it was a good nod to the comics, of course, the green, hoodie to keep with the traditional Arrow look to him.
I really like the new uniform.
Yes.
That's one thing I was really looking forward to.
The uniform looks
season.
awesome. But we'll talk about that more later. But the running up, I think that, showing that he's still in shape, he's still the very meticulous Oliver Queen who doesn't, stray too far from his regiment. I think it's a good sign to keeping with that stuff. I also like the whole living at house with the Felicity. I also like how he was living at home with Felicity. I thought that was a great way to bring the tone of last season and make it into a nice, easy, light-hearted tone that they wanted to this season. I think it's going to make for some good points. Interaction between the characters. The first big thing that kind of caught my eye, though, was whenever they returned to Star City and it said, in memory of Dr. Ray Palmer. I think, actually thinking about it now, I think the reason that they have the sign like that is because I don't know if you've ever seen Ant-Man, the Marvel movie.
Yes.
But remember how whenever they talked about, shrinking down and, never coming back? Well, I think if you remember, last season, if you remember in the last season, he shrunk down. Adam Ray Palmer shrunk down, but he never devised a way to get himself back out that I can remember. So what I'm thinking is that he's still at that subatomic level, so nobody knows where he is, and until he finds a way to get himself out of there, he'll be there for most of the season until they need him to help save the world, in which case he'll come into Legends of Tomorrow, because we know he's not dead, obviously.
Yes.
So what was the next thing you saw was real big?
Well, I saw some pretty interesting new faces.
The new black scientist, I think that'll
Yeah.
be interesting, new character tone in the environment.
Kind of looks like he's there to maybe have a little comic relief.
It kind of reminds me more of like Cisco from The Flash, like they're trying to bring that element into the show.
Exactly.
I did of course they did reveal the new uniform. I definitely like how it goes along with the new comics look of him. Back, I think it was a year ago, the writers for the Arrow TV show actually took over the actual comics in DC and started writing them, so you could see the resemblance in some of the new comics. Are a little bit darker and stuff like that, so I like that tone, that they look like they're gonna keep the same with both the comics and the TV show.
Definitely. So, how do you feel about the new villains?
I think that Damien Dark is going to be more of a threat than Ra's al Ghul ever was. I think Ra's al Ghul was just overthrown. Everybody knew he was a big bad guy. But Damien Dark, nobody really knows who he is. I recognize his name from the comics. Don't 100% know it off the top of my head. I'll find out information later. But I know that he is going to be very powerful. The way that he grabbed that one guy's chest just to hold it seemed like maybe there's something that we're not seeing, that he has an ability or power of some sort, but he looks pretty powerful. He looks like he has a lot of connections. He did talk to one guy though that looked like he had a stone or something in his hand. I don't really know what it was, but he used the phrase and said something about how all you like to do is cause anarchy. That's in reference to a Batman villain who name was Anarchy, obviously, and all his goal was to create destruction or chaos within the Gotham City to not have any type of structural government or order. So what did you think of John Diggle's uniform?
What do you mean?
The guy who looked like Judge Dredd, the whole helmet looking thing.
I honestly thought that was a new villain. I had no clue that was him.
No, man, he was standing there right the entire time with Oliver Queen, now known as, I think he's going to be known as Green Arrow now, whatever.
Yeah, they did mention Green Arrow at the very end of the trailer.
But I think he's not going to be a Judge Dredd character. What I believe he's going to be is more of a hero known as the Guardian, is what my opinion is. Guardian was basically, he had a big huge suit, had a shield. I mean, that was just in the comics. I don't think they're actually going to give him a shield. Basically all he was a guy going out, kind of like a Batman type thing, but yeah, I think a little bit of increased strength, but mainly it was just the training and the fact that he was going out there and doing it with a costume. Alright, so what did you think of the Red Arrow or New Speedy?
It looks like Oliver's going to have some problem dealing with Thea this season. It looks like, I think I saw a scene where she was about to kill somebody and then Olive kind of had a little backlash at her.
I think she's going to have some issues with her father, Malcolm Merlin, or the new Ra's al Ghul. Excuse me.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to watch her kind of react to the fact of what he did and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not forget the whole issue with Detective Lance and his daughter, the new Black Canary. Hopefully that's going to cause for some sort of tension that'll be interesting to watch unfold. Yeah. And I'm hoping that they're not going to dwell too much into the whole love life of Oliver Queen, because that kind of just took up too much of last season and it was just a bore to watch, honestly.
Yeah. I hope they kind of dump that at the beginning of the season once they get back to Star City.
I hope they do a lot of crossovers again. I really hope that they're setting up for a good Legend of the Tomorrow TV show. And I don't know if you recognize the guy that was in the weird jacket at about the beginning/middle of the trailer. Anyway, that was John Constantine. Earlier there was a TV show on called John Constantine, or Constantine, I don't remember. But it was a pretty decent TV show. But unfortunately it wasn't good enough reviews to keep around. But CW wanted to like the actor, and they decided to bring him on for a few episodes of Arrow, and those are going to be more mystical based episodes that only he's going to be able to help deal with, so that way he can still keep the character without having a TV show. So you guys tell us what you thought was the best part of the trailer, and give us some of your opinions of what you think is going to happen and stuff like that.
And if you enjoyed our review, please like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, we are Yin-Yang Reviews, and we are signing out.